Hello, I'm Phil Hall, Digital Photos Technical Editor. Welcome to this Photoshop video lesson where I'm going to show you how to add a real sense of drama to your images. As you can see, this is our straightforward shot. And we've got a bit of work to do. I want to show you how to add blur and some other creative effects to boot to make it really come alive. So, let's crack on. Right, the first thing I want you to do after you brought up your start image is bring up your layers palette. So you can do that by hitting F7 on your keyboard if you can't see it already. And I want you to move along to the Paths tab, just along from your Layers tab there. So click on that, and as you can see, we've got this thing called Hummer Outline. What we've done to save you a bit of work is make a quick outline of the Hummer using the pen tool, and that's created a path. So if I click on it, you can see the path running around the car there. And what I want to do is turn that path into a selection. So all I have to do is click on the arrow there, and there's a drop down, and from the drop down select Make Selection. You'll get this pop-up box appear, and what I want you to do is key in 1 for the feather radius. And once you've done that, all you have to do is hit OK, and we've got our marching ants running around the Hummer there, showing we've got ourselves a selection. Now all I'm going to do is copy that selection, so I'm going to quickly do that by hitting Ctrl C on our keyboard, and we've made a selection of it. So with that done, I do want to get rid of those marching ants and make a deselection. So hit Ctrl D, and the selections disappeared. Right, with that done, we can start working on the blur, or adding that sense of movement to the image. And what I'm going to do is go to Filter, down to Blur, and from our extensive choice, I'm going to select Radial Blur. So you'll get this pop-up box appear. I'll just drag it into the screen. And I'm going to set the amount of 14. So I'm just going to take it down a little bit. And rather than the spin blur method, which you can see is that one there, so that it will blur in a spin, I want the zoom. So I'm going to click on that, and that blur center example will change. Quality, you're fine on good. But what I'm going to do is just change the position of the blur center. So rather than being where it is, I'm just going to take it down a little bit. So in relation to our image, hopefully the blur, or the point of the zoom blur, is going to come from that point there where my cursor is, just behind the Hummer and to the left. So with that done, I'm going to hit OK, and it could take a while to process. Alright, so that zoom blur's worked out well for us. The only thing is, it's blurred the car as well, which is not what we wanted. But other than that, the zoom is working well. But you remember we made a copy of that selection of the Hummer. If I hit Ctrl V, I can paste the Hummer back in. So with the Move tool, I'm going to just position it where it was, round about there. But if you look, if I just zoom in a little bit, we've got this blur coming out to the right hand side of the image there, and that doesn't make sense in sort of the physics of the blur. So I'm going to show you a quick trick, which is I'm going to hit Ctrl T, and all I'm going to do is, holding down the Shift key, is just enlarge the Hummer just by dragging out the top right hand corner of the bounding box, so that blur disappears. All I'm going to do is hit Return, and we've got rid of that distracting blur on the right hand side there, and we've also just increased the presence of the Hummer in the shot. Right, so we're starting to get there. We've got the background blurred, but the car's positioned well, but the trouble is it looks quite strange because the wheels are still rock solid and frozen, and we want to add a sense of movement to them so it looks like they're spinning quite quickly. What we're going to do with that is I'm going to center on the front wheel there, and I'm just going to show you what we're going to do. I'm going to select the polygonal lasso tool from the toolbox, that one there. If you can't see it, sometimes hidden under either of these, but you just have to hold down your left mouse button and select it. What I'm going to do is quickly run around the rim of this wheel. You can spend a bit more time on it than me and be a bit more precise, but I'm just going to quickly show you what I'm going to do. So with that done, I'm almost there. I'm going to feather this, so I'm going to go to Select, Feather. Feather radius of 5 pixels is fine, so hit OK. So we've got that feathered selection there, and what I'm going to do is add some blur to that wheel. So I'm going to go to Filter, Blur. We're going to go to Radial Blur again. So we've got our pop-up box appeared, and I'm just going to increase the amount ever so slightly to 16. And I'm going to change the blur method back to spin. So I'm going to click on that, and as you can see, we've got that blurred method in the blur center there. I'm going to just move it slightly so it's round about just off to the left of the middle there. Round about there, and hit OK. Right, so that's worked nicely. That's added a real sense of movement to the wheel there. So I'm going to hit Control D to get rid of the selection, and I'm going to start on the wheel at the rear. So I'm just going to move around there, and as before, just quickly run round. There we go. I'm going to feather as before, 5 pixels, and then I can add that same radial blur. Rather than having to go all the way into blur, radial blur, I can just reselect that again, and we've got that blur there. Control D, and so finally we can just come to this front wheel there. We've only got half the wheel here. It should work out quite easily. So feather that selection again and apply that radial blur. Cool, so that's done there. Hit Control D. So if I zoom out, we've got the blur working nicely on the side of the wheels there. We've got a real sense of movement, they're spinning, but we've still got this static tread. So we can work on that now. So going back to that front wheel, still with the polygonal lasso tool selected, I'm going to just quickly run around here. As I've said before, please do spend more time on it than me. I'm just going around here quickly so I don't hold you up and you don't get bored. There we go, almost there. Again, I'm going to feather that selection, so down to feather, 5 pixels is fine for the radius. And I'm going to apply 2 blurs. The first blur is just going to be a straight old Gaussian blur. So in the pop-up box, radius of 3.5 pixels is just fine for what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to hit OK. And then what I'm going to do is apply some motion blur. So still with my marching ants running around the tread of the tyre, go to filter again, blur, and down to motion blur. So what I'm going to do is set the angle to around about -83, 84, somewhere like that. That will do. Toggle it around on there, or you can up down arrow keys there. The distance, around about 20 pixels for that, and then hit OK. And we've started to get that nice blur of the wheel. It looks like it's just spinning around quickly. So I'm going to hit Control D, and I'm going to apply that same technique on the other 2 visible wheels. So I'm going to do that and join you in a moment. Hello there, welcome back. As you can see, I've finished off the blur on the other 2 wheels. So we've done that one, and I've followed the same procedure as I showed you before I left you. So the car's done. We've got the nice movement in the wheels, and we've got our zoom burst there with the background, so that's adding a real sense of drama at the moment. And we could leave it there if we wanted to, but I sort of want to try and create a bit more sort of spark, and I want to add some dust in the background to make it sort of look like the car's kicking up a load of dust as it travels across that sort of gravel. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and what I want to do first is select a sort of a suitable dust colour. So with the eyedropper tool, that one there, I'm going to select some dust sort of round about there, maybe a bit lighter, something there will do. Right, we can now make our sort of dust layer, and what I need to do is first go to File, New, and I'm going to make a new document with a width of around about 2500 pixels. I'm going to set the height at 1750, resolution can stay at 240, and I want background contents of white. With that done, I'm going to hit OK, and we've got our new document. So how are we going to make our dust layer? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is hit Q to make a quick mask, and what I'm going to do is go to Filter, down to Render, Difference Clouds, select that, and Photoshop automatically renders these sort of clouds for us. So I want to come out of the quick mask, and as you can see, we've got this sort of marching out selection effect going on. So I'm now going to go to layer, new layer. Just going to hit OK for that. So we've got our new layer. If I click on my layers palette, we've got our new layer up the top there. And what I'm going to do is going to fill this new layer with that colour we selected on our Hummer shot. So I'm going to select Paint Bucket tool, sometimes hidden underneath the gradient tool. So select that, and all you have to do is just click on that, and we've got our sort of dust effect created for us. Right, so all I'm going to do now is move this layer into our Hummer image. So we'll just click on there a moment. We've got our Hummer image there, and with the move tool, I'm just going to drag it over onto our shot. Right, that's on the top of the layer stack at the moment, and I don't want that. I want that sitting below the Hummer. So what I have to do, I'll just expand this out a little bit, is just drag it underneath there. Right, so if I can just make some space, I'm just going to move this over here for a moment, bear with me. And I'm going to want to sort of position this new layer 2 a bit better than where I've just dropped it there. So I'm going to move it down a bit, and then holding or pressing down Control T, I'm going to rotate it around, and I'm also going to transform it out. So just increase it in size, and I'm going to hit return. Right, so that's coming on, but we've got some harsh edges there that I just want to brush away so it just blends into the background nicely. What I'm going to do is go down to the layers palette, and with the layer 2 still selected, I want to select the add layer mask icon, and I'm going to go over, make sure I've got black selected as my foreground colour. I'm going to pick the brush tool, and I want a size of about 400 for that, and I'm going to drop the opacity down to 65 or thereabouts. And all I'm going to do now is just brush in to the edges there, get a shot of those harsh transitions, so just round there. Might have to go over them a couple of times. That's just building up the effect round there. Move my layers palette out of the way slightly. Be fairly harsh and just get rid of some of the dust under there. I'm going to show you a technique in a moment that we can get some effects going on around the car. So that's done. What I'm going to do now is just decrease the opacity of this layer down to 70, so it's quite subtle. But what I want to do is build up the whole dust effect. So with the move tool, we go back to that dust layer that we created and drag in another layer. So this time, layer 3 should be sitting again underneath layer 1 and the Hummer. So again, I'm going to move into position as before, hit Control T to rotate it round like that, and then I'm going to just play around with the size wise. I don't want it the same kind of size as before, just something around about like that, and then hit return. Right, I'm going to add another layer mask. Still got my, get my brush selected, still got black as my foreground colour, and then just again gently brush round to have a nice smooth transition there around the Hummer. So we've built up that dust in there. Just going to move this out of the way for a moment, bring it in round there, and I think that's done. As before, I'm going to decrease the opacity, this time only to 90%, and I think we're almost there. I'm just going to add, I think, some finishing touches. So I'm going to bring one final layer of dust in. So I'm going to get my move tool, select that, and drag it across. This time though, I want this layer 4, as it's known, to be above the Hummer. So I'm just going to drag it up above the Hummer in the layer stack. I'm just going to move it around so it covers the car. We'll rotate as before. And position. And just drag it down a bit. That should be fine. And then hit return. Okay, I'm going to add another layer mask to this layer. And I'm going to increase, get this out of the way, increase the brush opacity to 85. So now I'm going to brush over the top of the Hummer, but I'm going to try and sort of blend it in down here so it looks like the dust is being kicked up from the front wheels also. So around there, just bring in some of it there. It's down to you, this one really, how you handle it. Brush around the front, move this image across so you can see a bit clearer. Then at the edges there. And then just in round there. I think that's working quite nicely. Right, so if I just get rid of this layers palette a moment and then maximise that, move that out of the way. So there we go, our finished image. As you can see, what we've done, we've added the blur and sort of the motion blur around the wheels, we've added some dust, we've coated the car, and all of that has led to adding a much more sort of dramatic image rather than that static shot we had beforehand. So why not give it a go yourself, try it on your own images maybe, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks a lot for watching. Cheers.